Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Patterson. Let me show you how I included edibles in my front yard without sacrificing curb appeal. One of the things I challenge myself on is how to get as much edible landscaping in the tiny garden that I have. 20 feet. By 23 inches, let's call it 2 feet. 20 feet by 2 feet. And in this tiny space, I've been getting zucchini all summer. I'm loaded with limes. I've got tomatoes that I'm sharing with my entire family and my neighbors, and mint that got so big I had to cut it back to the ground, and I'm getting a second flush already. Let's take a closer look. This container measures 16 by 16 by 16. So basically it's a cube. When I first decided to try to incorporate more edibles into my landscape, I went around my entire garden and I just looked at where are the tiny spots in full sun or full sun most of the day that I could turn from growing flowers or evergreen shrubs to vegetables, even if it's just for this summer as an experiment. So this tiny spot has proved to be a winner. These are the zucchini that I cut yesterday. You can see this one kind of got away from me. This is ideally the size that I like. And I'll show you up close what I'm going to cut today. This is the perfect size. They're sweet, they're tender. I just love them. So in 2 days, this is what I got off of this tiny 16-inch square container. And it's just perfect for 2 people. These 2 stock tanks measure 2 feet by 54 inches. And they are 23 inches deep. And what I love so much about them is that they allow you to grow almost anything without having to dig into the soil. So you could actually put these on a driveway, on a concrete patio, wherever. You can see the amount of citrus. This tree is absolutely loaded. I think I said they were limes. This is a Meyer lemon tree, one of my very favorites. I love growing citrus. I don't have a big yard, so this allows me to put 24 inches of organic soil. I can keep amending it. I've got it on drip, but basically it allows me to have an edible garden where I wouldn't ordinarily be able to grow one. This is the second of the stock tanks, and I just want to show you up close how many cherry tomatoes I'm getting off of this. I mean, it's incredible. By the end of the season, don't be surprised if you get tired of eating them. They're just a very prolific producer, and cherry tomatoes do great in pots. I mean, look at that. It's just wonderful. The last stock tank, I just cut this back. This is my mint, and it got so huge, it was spilling over in every direction, and I was a little bit afraid that it was going to root in my neighbor's garden. So I cut it all the way back to the ground, and it's already coming back. It's doing great right next to this astilbe that's no longer in bloom. I might be replacing that in the fall, not sure yet. But the mint, I use it in salads. I make tea out of it. I use it in Vietnamese spring rolls. I use it all the time. I love it. This is white clover that I underplanted both of these stock tanks with. And it just went crazy. The reason I planted it where I knew I was going to grow vegetables is because it fixes nitrogen in the soil. So I think that combined with the chicken manure that I added really gave my soil a great start. So I underplanted with white clover, and the bees love it. This little guy, again in a pot, is a caviar lime or a finger lime. Let me show you up close. When I was growing microgreens commercially, one of the chefs told me about these. I think what I'll do is go inside and cut it open so you can see what's so special and great about them. They do come in different colors. In California, it's very hard to find the pink ones, but the green ones are well worth the effort. When I was growing microgreens for chefs in San Francisco, one of the chefs told me about these, and I absolutely love them. Some catalogs call them finger limes, some call them Australian caviar limes, but they make an incredible presentation. You can see, basically, they're little round balls that give you a citrus burst. Remember the old Pop Rocks candy? They're kind of like citrus Pop Rocks. They look beautiful on appetizers, tacos, tostadas, any place that you would put a lime, but you want to use it on top. It truly is a garnish. They're amazing. So this one caviar lime tree in a 10-gallon pot produces enough for my family and enough for us to share with our foodie friends. I hope you can find one in your area, and I hope you'll give it a try. It's really fun. So like all citrus, they've got these awful thorns. But if you get yourself some good gloves, I just bought myself the long leather gloves. This is just a fun tree to grow. It's such a unique citrus, and a little basket of these makes a really cool hostess gift. I hope you give it a try. So if the front yard idea does not work for you, you just don't even have enough space for a stock tank, I challenge you to go around your entire garden and look for tiny little places that you could tuck something edible. These are bay leaves, and I use them as part of my still life arrangement, but I use a lot of bay leaves in cooking. I love them in my stew, my soups, and my roasts. So these are not even planted in the pot. So I challenge you to just try a few places. Go around, look for a sunny spot, and give it a try. I think you'd be surprised how much edible gardening you can do in a tiny backyard. So there you go, all the ways that I'm including edible landscape in my very tiny garden. Let me know in the comments what you're doing. I want to learn from you as well. Thanks again for being here. Please like and subscribe. You know I'm trying to grow my channel. Thanks again.